All right, y'all, this is a guided meditation with built-in practice. We'll be cycling through the three different focuses that we use to cultivate present moment awareness, which include listening, feeling the body, and focusing on the breath. As we go through this process, I want you to try to keep your eyes open because we're trying to cultivate present moment awareness. And as we go through this process, we want to notice our thinking. We want to notice ourselves thinking, lost in thought, or talking to ourselves. And as soon as we notice that, we gently come back to whatever the focus is at that given moment. All right? So let's start by settling, because we all come into this session with some things already on our mind. And so let's just take a moment to become completely present. Let's take 3 deep breaths, and as we take those 3 deep breaths, I also want you to look around, listen, and feel your body, and see if we can be completely present. All right, 3 deep breaths with complete presence. All right, awesome. So the first focus that we're going to use is listening to sounds in the environment. So I first want us to take a moment and assess our current environment and see what sounds we have access to. So let's take a moment, about 10 to 15 seconds, and listen and see what's available to us. All right, so if you're sitting outside, maybe you have access to traffic, maybe there's a plane flying overhead, maybe there's birds, maybe there's wind. If you're sitting inside, maybe you have the hum of some appliances, maybe you've got some distant sounds or voices or some lawn guys. Regardless of what those sounds are, they can all be used to listen and create some presence and to clear some space in mind. So what I want us to acknowledge is when we first started to listen to assess our current environment, we weren't thinking about anything. And the reason for that is we introduced a focus, the focus of listening. So as soon as you introduce a focus, you clear space and thought, you're not thinking temporarily, and then eventually you're going to start to think about something, or you're going to start to talk to yourself. But at some point you'll notice that, and when you notice that, you just gently come back to the focus, and in this case it's going to be listening. So I want us to do 3 minutes of listening meditation. Again, I highly recommend you keep the eyes open. If having the eyes open is distracting, you can do a downward gaze and try to engage your peripherals. But we're just listening. Remember, in the listening, there's only listening. As soon as you notice yourself thinking, lost in thought, or talking to yourself, gently come back to listening. All right, let's do this together, 3 minutes. right, now let's gently transition to feeling the body. I'm going to take us through a guided little sequence, and after that guided little sequence, we'll have a little bit of time to practice on our own. Right? So let's start by working on what we call the midline. So the midline is an imaginary line that goes from the base of the skull all the way down to the tailbone. And what we want to do is run our awareness up and down that midline about 3 times. And as we're doing that, we're trying to straighten out the midline, straighten out our spine, and straighten out our posture. So again, run your awareness up and down that midline about 3 times. And as you do, you're just straightening out your posture. Think about maybe pushing your tailbone down into the ground and then pulling the back of your head up towards the sky. And naturally, you'll start to notice your posture straighten out. And now that we feel what that midline feels like, we should notice ourselves start to slouch or lean forward or lean back during any other part of this meditation. Then we can just correct ourselves. All right, now let's gently transition to a body scan. So we're going to start at the feet. And I want you to put your awareness in your feet. And I want you to feel your feet. Without thinking about your feet, you just want to feel your feet, just feel. Remember, in the feeling, there's only feeling. And now we're going to work our way up the entire body. Let's put our awareness in our calves, feel the calves. Let's come up to the thighs, feel the thighs. Let's come up to the groin area, feel the groin area. Let's come up to the abdomen. Let's feel the stomach and the abdomen. Notice it move as you breathe in and out. Now let's come up to the chest. Feel the chest. Feel the lungs as you breathe. Put your awareness in the center of your chest. Try to feel your heart. Now let's come out to the upper arms. Feel your biceps and your triceps. Now come down to your forearms. Feel your forearms. And now I want you to place your hands, palms up in your lap. And I want you to try to feel your hands. Now come out to the fingertips and feel your fingertips. And see if you can notice or sense a pulse or a heartbeat or a throbbing in your fingertips. All right, awesome. You can relax your hands. Now let's come up to the head. Let's put our awareness in the ears. Feel the ears. Come out to the forehead and brow. Relax the forehead and brow. Let's come down to the eyes. Relax the muscles around the eyes. And then let's feel the eyes. You should be able to feel your eyes as the eyes move around. Now let's come down to the nose and the nasal passage. Let's come down to the mouth, relax the muscles around the mouth, and let's feel the lips. And now let's take a moment and try to connect everything. Let's feel the entire body at once, connecting all those different body parts. All right, now let's gently transition to pressure points. So let's put our awareness in our feet, and let's feel the pressure of the ground up against the feet. Let's feel that connection point. And then let's feel the pressure of the seat up against the butt. And then let's connect those two together. Maybe take a few deep breaths and settle into those two connection points. Feeling gravity pull you into those connection points. right, now let's gently transition to environmental factors. So if you're sitting outside, you might feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, you might feel a slight breeze, you might feel the contrast of exposed skin to clothed skin. If you're sitting inside, again, maybe you feel a slight breeze, or again, maybe you're feeling the contrast of exposed skin to clothed skin. Let's just see if we can feel. All right, and then finally, let's gently transition to any areas of the body that feel tight, or you feel tension, or a little bit of discomfort or pain. And so usually after we've been sitting for about 10 minutes, maybe the hips or the knees or the lower back start to get a little bit of tightness, tension, or maybe you feel discomfort somewhere else. So let's just see if we can find an area in the body that feels a little bit tight or tense, or a little bit uncomfortable. And let's just see if we can put our awareness there and just feel that for a moment. All right, awesome. So now we're going to do 2 minutes of practice, freestyle with the body. So we've just gone through all those different focuses. We've got the midline, we've got the body scan, we've got the pressure points, the contact points, we've got environmental factors, and then we've also got areas of discomfort. So as we go through these next 2 minutes, you can feel the body in whatever way makes sense for you. And as you're feeling the body, you're going to notice yourself start to think or get lost in thought or talk to yourself. And as soon as you notice that, you just gently come back and feel the body. And again, that is the practice moment that we're looking for, the coming back and feeling. All right, so let's do 2 minutes of practice together. All right, awesome. Now, let's gently transition to the focus of the breath. All right. So first, I want you to connect with the breath in whatever way makes sense for you. Connect with the breath for 3 deep breaths. All right, awesome. Now let's gently transition to following the breath. Following the breath all the way in, turnaround point, all the way out. Let's do a few deep breaths together. awesome. Now let's gently transition to feeling the breath. So feeling the breath at the nostrils, in the nasal passage, in the back of the throat. 3 deep breaths, feeling the breath. All right, now let's gently transition to the breath at the stomach. So as you breathe in and out, you should notice your stomach move in and out. Let's do 3 deep breaths at the stomach. All right, and finally, let's gently transition to a total body breath. So as you breathe in and out, you should notice your entire body shift. 3 deep breaths, total body breath. All right, awesome. So let's gently transition to some practice. Let's practice with the breath. You have access to all those different aspects that we just cycled through. You can focus on whatever one makes sense for you. And the same goal, in the breathing, there's only breathing. Eventually you're going to start to think about something, get lost in thought or talk to yourself. And as soon as you notice that, just gently come back to the breath. And this is the practice moment that we're looking for. All right, so let's do 2 minutes together of focusing on the breath. All right, awesome. So we have just successfully completed a guided meditation with built-in practice. And remember, the practice moments in these meditation sessions are the noticing of the thinking and then the coming back to the focus. All right, this is the skill that we're trying to cultivate. This is the skill of seeing what's happening in our minds and noticing what's happening in our minds. And if we do this for a dedicated session every day, then we will take that skill with us throughout the rest of the day by noticing things that are happening in the mind during the rest of the day. Then we have a chance to come back to the present moment. We can listen, we can feel, we can focus on the breath, and we'll start to notice the quality of our life improve dramatically over time. Right? Now, we always recommend ending a session on excellence. So take a moment and express some gratitude, whether it's through journaling or maybe just in your mind and rhetorical. And then we also recommend ending on excellence by thinking about what it is that you want for your day in your life. So I think a really good practice is to go through your day like a movie and think about all the different events you have coming up. Think about how you want to show up to those events. Think about how you want to be perceived. That's envisioning for your day. And then take a moment to think about what it is you want for your life. You can ask important questions like, who am I? What is my purpose? What do I want? What do I want to contribute? How can I serve? Right? But just taking some time to daydream and think about what it is that you want in your life so that you can program your non-conscious and awareness to look for those things in your environment to support whatever it is that you're seeing on a regular basis. All right? Come back to this guided meditation as many times as you need to. We feel like it's really solid. It's a perfect blend of guided plus practice. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please send them our way because we want to make this as good as possible for everyone that listens to it or watches it. All right, thank you so much.